Okay, let's try this again. I did it yesterday for a ridiculously long amount of time, and it was ridiculously boring, which is fine because nobody looks at it but me, but still. But mainly you couldn't hear anything because the microphone levels. So we're going to try it again today. Adjusted the microphone levels so that hopefully it will record better if I'm talking normally. Take this nut off. Oops, you know what I should do? I should razor blade it a bit first. So yesterday, on the stream that I'm going to end up not showing, I adjusted the height on this nut. Yesterday I adjusted the height on this nut because when I redid the frets a while back, and I redid the nut because I had to clean up the grooves in the nuts and stuff because it's old. A lot of playtime on this guitar. So I adjusted the nut, but I put it way too high. I wasn't doing my calculations correctly and stuff when I put it on there. So what I'm going to do now is I adjusted the nut yesterday and I got the height to where it would work right. Like right where it is, right here, where this just slides under. I actually made it almost fairly playable before it's badly in need of a neck reset, so the action's always going to be high on it until that gets done. Plus it's the 12 string, which makes it harder to fret all the strings anyway, so but it's far more playable than it was when I started this. Frets were all chewed up and flattened on it before from 40-something years of being played by my father very regularly. So they needed to be replaced. Pickguard needed to be replaced because they shrink up on Martins. Let's see if this works. Yes, it worked perfectly. Because, oops, bumped the camera. Because Frank Ford knows what he's talking about. Not that there was any doubt of that. Frank Ford is the repair guy at Griffin Instruments, main repair guy at Griffin Stringed Instruments out in California. He knows his stuff. Kind of has a reputation among luthiers, even knowing what he's doing. What of these do I want? With this one, I don't want to tear it up too much. So I need to clean this off a bit. Yesterday I did it because I wanted, once you adjust it, you got to put strings on it again. Make sure it's actually where you want it. And restringing this is a pain, only because there's 12 strings, but because it's a slotted headstock, yeah, which is even more obnoxious to the string. But I didn't want to take the strings off and on to adjust the height. So I just loosened them up and kind of moved them off to the sides of the neck. And then did it till I got them where I wanted it. But because I did that, it made it hard to clean this out right. And when I put the nut back on, strings on either side of it, having to kind of hold them out of the way, I didn't push it down exactly in the right spot initially. So it was over like that a little bit. And I was able to get it to come back that way, but the spacer, the label, you'll see that in a second, the labels that I used to space it kind of stayed over that way, so it ended up with a little bitty hole right here and then the label sticking out a tiny bit over here, which bugged me, so I'm going to fix it. So I'm just going to clean it up again now, but it's easier to do properly without the strings in it. Super glue I put on yesterday cleaned off of it. paper, not wood. Paper and super glue, actually. Actually, some of the paper can have. It's okay if it stays in there because this isn't level here because this nut was taken off when this was obviously 40 years old, so it didn't pull the wood real smoothly. So it's still flat enough to keep the nut in there, but it's got some pockets and stuff in it. I don't want to take out enough wood to make that not be the case. So a little bit of paper staying behind in those holes isn't a bad thing. So I get the surface here smooth. Amber alert. 13-year-old Del Rio, Texas. That's never a good thing. This. This is not professional by any means because I'm not professional. Just kind of faking it. Got some super glue in there. Here. A nice hard line of super glue I put in here, which is okay, as long as it's not too tall. Super glue, not wood. What I want wood to start coming out of here. Definitely wouldn't do this on any guitar that wasn't my own. I don't know what I'm doing. I wouldn't risk somebody else's guitar for my practice. Mess this one up. I have to make peace with my dad on it, basically. That's good. I think that's good. All right. Vision cleaning tool. Yeah, I know. All right, now clean this off. This has a label on it. Well, I really don't know if this is just plastic or if it's ivory. Hell. Looks like plastic to me, but this is a fairly old guitar when I don't think Martin would have used plastic back then, but who knows? Very well have. Put a new nut on this. I mean, I could, but I have to get a whole blank nut and form the whole thing by myself. Time or the skills to do that right now. I mean, I have the time, but I don't have the skills. This nut, because of the way it flares out like that, most nuts are straight on the side, the ones I buy new, and also it flares this way. Most nuts are straight up and down, so I can find the nut where this part of it is right. Where this part of it is right, but then this part here would be too skinny, and when it lays in here, it wouldn't match the curve back here. So I'm doing what I can with this nut. If it ever does, you know, if I ever do take it somewhere, I have the neck reset. They would put a new nut on it too. A nice new bone nut for it, and they've got the files and the knowledge and everything else to do that. They don't have. Need to practice on a few and all. So, millimeter inch gauges. I was heading for electronics work. They're great for measuring, and they make awesome scrapers. Scraped all over different purposes on your piece. Very nice. Hey, what does this mean? Thing I didn't, not likely gonna post yesterday's Twitch stream because it's endlessly long and endlessly boring. Not that this is any less boring. It'll be a lot shorter. fast forward through it if you're watching it. Highly off chance that you're watching it. Why is that? This cut. Super glue on this. Okay, throwing the wood. You have this 1500. Okay. Mess up too much, but it also doesn't take off too much. Right. This again. Fitting in right. On. Still too much super glue here. Add a little bit more. Back it again. Sticking down there. There's no rush, so I will take my time. Get it as good as I can. Do this, put this on here. There we go. Perfect. Oh, I know it'll be sticking down flat. Now I'm going to get my precision nut spacing pins. They may look like Avery adhesive labels, but in reality they are precision nut shimming shims, not adjusting shims. Something from Frank Ford, Griffin Guitars. He has spaced them if he needs to. Need to save a nut and not put a new one on. Need to space it. This. Get it up to the height you want. Saw this yesterday where I put it in wrong. I have an idea of how many I'm going to need this time. Put that many on and then measure it. In case I need another because I took more wood out of there or something. Just you probably can't even hear me, so let me talk a little louder. Talk a little bit. Whoa, okay, so maybe you can hear me. Find out when I listen it back. Say you can hear me, by that I mean I can hear me when I listen back to it. Paper is really non-compressible, especially hard, shiny label paper like this. Works well. Glue it. I'm going to try to primarily glue it against the neck down to the headstock so much. And this isn't my. This is how it was suggested. And glue it along here and not so much down to that. Nice and steady, it keeps it flat, the string pressure keeps it down. You don't rip wood out of here. Taking it out, it makes it easy to get back off in the future, like you saw. Half in it. It snaps right loose. Just this difference, I dropped it yesterday like half a millimeter. Just that amount. I dropped actually a little more than half a millimeter, but so it ended up dropping half a millimeter closer to this first fret with the strings on. And that made a huge amount. The intonation doesn't go wiped out as soon as you push down the string because it stretches too much. I was surprised that it made as much of a difference as it did, given how bad the action is on this. Now, once the neck was reset, then the saddle and nut would have to be replaced again, because that totally, once that neck's at the right angle, totally change the action, which is going to change here how close it is to the string. If we get the action better down here, it's going to get a tiny bit closer. And the saddle has to be replaced. Can you see that in the picture? This saddle is so low to the bridge because the action, it's been filed down. Strings barely break across the saddle. So they're still okay, but anymore would be almost coming off of their flat. So they work now, but they don't work as well as they would if they had. If that saddle had a little more height off the bridge, it would vibrate the bridge better, I guess. Acoustic, like an electric, where the strings sound get transferred into the body of the guitar to make their sound by making that bridge vibrate. That'll make the bridge vibrate. Electric, you get a little bit of that, but in electric it's primarily about pickups. You get some difference, and I'm only safely saying this because I know I'm talking to myself and not anyone else. the woods and all that stuff on an electric guitar. They have some effect. They change how long the string sustains, and they will change how it vibrates over this pickup to some degree. But the vast majority of the sound comes from the string vibrating over the pickup. How the pickup is wound and how strong magnets are and all that kind of thing. On an acoustic, it's all about the wood, a saddle vibrating the bridge. In acoustic electrics, to some degree, it changes because they usually, unless you have a pickup that goes in the hole here, it's not going to be a magnetic pickup like that. It's going to be an acoustic pickup, piezoelectric, say it, underneath that saddle. So basically, it's picking up the vibrations just like a contact mic. So, in case the guitar is going to sound more like a speaker on a guitar, because it's a microphone on a guitar, because it's a contact microphone. Opposed to the electric, is the sound of a magnetized wire vibrating through a coil. Magnetic field of a coil. I have a pickup that goes in the hole that's actually got magnetic pickups in it. Pretty well. You can also get the ones that go in the hole that are acoustic, piezoelectric pickups. All right. Now is, did I remember correctly from yesterday? Or did I count correctly how many labels I had put in? Or not? Perfect. That's 8 layers of label. Just, I mean, I gotta push a little to get it under there, but this side it slides easier. I want to go in the grooves that this gauge fits all the way down in. So that's perfect. What I will do now, set up a little, and I'm going to try to actually do it correctly this time. So I'm going to back up here and put this without scraping across the thing. I've got all the smooth surface. Right. Push. All right. I can try to do this a little more accurately this time, hopefully. Yeah, that isn't it. So just trying not to get any more than I need to on the bottom. All against the edge of the fretboard there. This is where I messed up yesterday. I don't have strings on there this time, so they won't interfere with me. So now I can put it on there and then press it down while it's in the correct spot. I did it. Solid. Now, if I look at the edge here, the spacer comes right to the edge. Up there. Once there's strings on there, it'll be fine. Okay. Now, let's measure it again that it's glued on here solid. It'd be a little higher once it was glued. Actually, and it's on the second fret here. Yeah, this is fret 1 or fret 0. You want it a little higher than these. Not too much higher, but you don't want it lower. You want it to buzz against. By measuring the line from here to here. And I can also see from looking at this that I have a little bit of a gap in the shadow. Tells me I got it right. Oh. Super glue. Solid against it. All right. That's it for today. New strings on the way. These Martins I can put back on there, but there's one string missing because when I did this before, the first string I put on, second string actually, the biggest E string, I didn't put it long enough, so it barely had like a half a wrap around there, and I didn't like that. And rather than, you know, pull it back a little farther so it wrapped more, because that would put the kink from bending it in the part that was out here, and I didn't like that. I stole one of the strings out of that set, so that's now an 11 string set. 11 string set. Okay. Top. Sorry. Goes there. Go back in its box. Looks like I'm cleaning up, but I'm not. I'm just picking up a few things I used today and do a lot of cleanup on here. Once I get this one done, hoping I'll be actually building one in the future, either from an actual kit I purchased online, or maybe getting a body shape cut out for me somewhere that I'll be able to do some finishing on and mount hardware too. And I'll clean it up better at that point. Clean enough to work on now, clean enough to put strings on when I get them back. All right, that's it. It scared me the first time I bumped the fretboard. I thought, oh, my frets are vibrating. I didn't get them in tight. But no, it's all this loose open gear tuner hardware shaking every time I bump it. Okay, I'm very proud of these frets. It's not anywhere remotely professional, but for having done them myself, I like this. I'm a fret tracer. I hate to do this. I cleaned it yesterday, so I'm going to try very hard not to. I think I'm seeing grooves along these from the crowning file, but it could also just be that they're not perfectly round, so I'm seeing changes in reflection, which kind of it's confirmed a little by when I do this that better dulls it up a bit. We're going to leave it like this. Okay, that's it for today. the new strings for it hopefully in a few days and put those on. And I'll try playing it again. If it plays okay. That's it. Talk to you later.